Check. I just realized that I was doing this while I was live. This is really funny. Okay, welcome back to Hometown TCG, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John, and hopefully you can hear me. Let me know if anything's going on. I got some coffee this morning. Cheers to everyone here. Got my nice little logo. And yeah, we got a lot to talk about, man. U.S. Nationals here. Not only U.S. Nationals, there were Nationals across the world. I know we had some comments here. People wanted to talk about Nationals in France and I know Malaysia had theirs. I think someone made a comment about another one they wanted to talk about. So I think we'll focus on US. We'll touch on some other things. Maybe we can do some more videos covering those deck lists when they come out. Or if anyone can link me to some of those deck lists, that would be awesome too. So man, it looks like we got chat popping off this morning. I know our Discord has been popping off all weekend. People are just excited about what's going on right now. So cheers to everyone. Let's have a good morning here. All right. So let's look at this here. So we had U.S. Nationals. First of all, congratulations to Tarek Patel. I know Matt Rogers pronounced it Tarek on the stream. I was going to say Tariq. Tell me if what the right pronunciation is, because I want to get that right. Don't want to disrespect him. U.S. National Champion, first ever. That was huge. So we're really excited about that. We looked at the thumbnail this morning. It was Flesh and Blood, a Runeblade card game, and that kind of seems how it was. We had 7 of the top 8 being Runeblades in Orlando, which was pretty nuts. We did see some differences in the calling, so we saw more of a diverse meta there, which is pretty cool to see. We even had an Oldhim player win it all, so that was pretty sweet. I think we had 2 Oldhims in the top 8 there, which was awesome. But looking at Nationals, this was pretty Runeblade dominated with 1 Ice Lexi as well. I'm gonna flip on over here. We got FAB DB open. Oh, dude, Spain had Dorinthia and Bolton in the finals. The Warrior finals. That's pretty sweet, dude. All right, so let's just kind of like look at these deck lists one by one, talk about them in a little bit, and in between each one I'll kind of respond to chat, answer any questions, or if you guys have anything you want me to shout out. I'm sure there's some great stuff. First person I want to shout out though is John Cydek. He's a member of our Discord, our Patreon, and this guy is just amazing. He's a terrific player. First of all, you have top 8 at US Nationals. He was 10th at the Calling Vegas. Great player and just a great guy. He's always fun to talk to. You may have seen him a few times on our kind of community discourse things. We have our like 6 people chatting together, our round table thing. So you may have seen him there. Great guy, always has helpful things that he says in the Discord. Really insightful comments and stuff like that. You can see he has a really great knowledge of the game, and obviously the results speak for themselves. So I want to start with his list here. He's been on Briar since the start. He saw the power of that for sure. I think he was hoping that people wouldn't realize it, and then it started to leak out in the last like week or two. But first thing you can notice is he went a little bit different route. He was playing more blues than your normal list, and that's to kind of be able to be a little more diverse, to be able to run against some of these ice decks, just to have that. And also he has some arcane barrier and things like that to where he can handle Kano and Viscerai and that kind of stuff. So he was more prepared for that for sure. If we look at it though, the actual attacks in the deck, a lot of your standard 0-cost ones, because he has the blues, he can play Command and Conquer as well, where most of these decks can't. Consuming Volition is one that he was playing that, I mean, I think it's really powerful, and it works well in the mirror match if you're going to be able to pitch. So if you have pitch, it's a good one to have. Obviously, Electrify, E-Strike, and Twine Lightning are all pretty standard for the 0-cost deck. The Exude Confidence are just amazing in that control matchup. So he has some of these. He has a couple 1-cost attacks and the Command and Conquer. He has that. He has Rites of Lightning, which costs. So he has a few things he can pay for. If you look at the blues, Ball Lightning, Captain's Call, Electrify, Force of Nature is the one that's pretty cool because he can really set up some crazy things, because obviously he has the Nimblism, he has the Razor Reflex, he has the Weave Lightning and stuff like that, so he can get some crazy things there. This deck is just pretty cool overall, and it does work into a meta where you're not exactly sure what you're going to play. And I mean, he did a great job with this. We saw his match. Unfortunately, I was working, so I wasn't able to see every single match over the weekend, but I made sure to tune in for his top 8 match, and I saw most of that. Good back and forth game. The chain, obviously it's chain, and he can go off, you know? So it was a great game to see, and didn't quite get there in the end. Huge accomplishment getting top 8. So shout out to John. If we're looking at, who did he play? I think he played against Cody. So I'll look at Cody's deck next real quick here. I'll check the chat though. Man. Town Hall. Thanks, Josh. It is called Town Hall. That's where you may have seen John. Oh man. Yeah, I think Exude Confidence was slept on at first. People weren't. I think more people were running Nourishing Emptiness than Exude Confidence. They're like, that's the good Majestic here, which Nourishing Emptiness is insane in certain decks. But yeah, Exude just destroys defense reaction stuff. It's like a Heart of Ice on steroids. Yeah, he was playing E-Strike. Man, E-Strike is good in that deck. In any deck where you can get Go Again consistently, it's so good because the 5 draw is amazing. And then the versatility he has is pretty crazy. Yeah, you have to have the Go Again. So like Exude Confidence is so good now. I think maybe that's why people are playing it more now, because both Briar and Lexi can give it Go Again really easily, which is pretty good. Chain can give it Go Again as well, not as easily, but he has a lot of Go Again sources. Another Runeblade, of course. I know some people in the chat were talking about Viscerai, man. I know a lot more people played Viscerai. It was kind of like this dark horse thing that people were looking for to bust out, and he didn't have quite the performance. But I do love to see that. That's pretty sweet. We'll see if Viscerai gets some more support in this next set. If they can do it without giving support to the other Runeblades, that'd be interesting. Some more Rune Chant type stuff. I mean, he's got his own Fable, which is pretty cool. Let me know, how's the background music level? Is it too loud, too quiet? I don't want it to be too overpowering. Sometimes I know it can be. I use Exude for end of chain attacks with ninjas. Works very well. Especially, sometimes ninjas can draw a bunch of blues in their hand too. Exude Confidence with the threat of Snapdragon Scalers as well. When you can threaten either Razor Reflex or the Snapdragon is pretty good. I feel like you have to make sure... Oh, you hear nothing. I feel like you have to make sure that you have those Snapdragon available. Do you hear anything now? If not, maybe I just didn't get it going. All right. Let's look at... I'm going to look at one of the chains next. Okay. So we're like at Cody Williams. I think he played John. Yeah, let's check out this deck. So, oh yeah, he was playing the Belittle Minnowism. Here we go. So yeah, people have been pretty creative with Chain, trying to figure out what goes in there. We saw the one list from the Cincinnati Pro Quest that had Chain in the top 8. So this one's looking a little bit different. We look at it right away. Okay, he's got Belittle. He's got 2 red Minnowism and how many blue? And 2 blue Minnowism. Okay, cool. Belittle's great because it's a tutor effect, which is always good in games. You can hit the red or the blue. It just didn't quite make the cut in the summer season before the seeds ban. Like, how many 3 damage attacks does he have now? He's got Belittle, Bounding Demigon. He's got Riftbind. He's got more Bounding Demigons. Flock of the Featherwalkers blue. Shadow of Ursa for 6. Vexing Malice. Okay, he's got 28, it looks like. 3 damage or less attacks in the deck, which is pretty cool. So he can make that happen with the Belittle. He's got a few more than your Chain deck used to. Just a few, but that's probably enough. Okay. So Bounding Demigon, Command and Conquer, Exude Confidence. There it is, Exude Confidence. He's got the 2 Fate Foreseen. So this card, it can shut down the Briar. It can shut down those Snatch Go-Agains, which is pretty strong for sure. Flock of the Featherwalkers. He's got that in red and blue. So he's got some ways to try to go wide enough to get over control, because that's the problem with the current Chain. We all knew he was still good into aggro matchups. He always has been. In the seeds are good against him, but it's not really your main strategy. So as long as you can get non-attacks to turn on your Rosetta Thorn, you're good. So he's got 3 Hell from Beyonds. Probably main deck in that now. The Ghostly Visits, the extra Minnowisms and stuff also give another solution to turn on your weapon, to turn on the Bounding Demigons and the what are they? The Unhallowed Rites and stuff like that. So I like that too. Just another way to search out some way to actually trigger your Rosetta Thorn to proc it. He's even got 1 Nimblism. Okay, cool. The Plunder Runs, the Rift Binds. So he's got enough non-attacks to get a Rift Bind up to, 5 damage or something, which is still nothing to shake a stick at. 1 for 5 from the Banish Zone. Yellow Captain's Call and blue. Nice. 2 Seeping Shadow. Yeah, he's definitely got enough in there. So Eclipse, I would like to know against control matchups if he can consistently get Eclipse off. If he's getting it off every single time against them if he wants to. I think that's key to be able to play against these control decks. So if someone saw him play on stream against like a Bravo or a Control Dash or something like that, let me know if he was able to get this Eclipse off. Flock, Invert Existence, 2 of, sweet. Got all the blues and the Tome. Man, Tome battles against Briar and stuff are just funny. Yeah, so awesome. I love this deck. And I love the being able to tutor out the Minnowism now. It just seems really cool as a way to proc it without seeds. I'll hop over to chat real quick. Okay. A lot less Briars in the finals of other countries. Bolton took 1, Dorinthia another, Bravo. The list on LSS page is interesting. Okay. Yeah, so other people were. I think Briar's real good. I'll say that. And Briar is great against Dorinthia, against pretty much all these other aggro decks, or any aggro deck that kind of sets up for a big turn. You can just play back and forth until they go, and then you do your big block out, and then you just get your tempo right back. Whereas it seems like, Dorinthia has to set up for her 5-card turn with her go again, making sure you have your Steel Blade Supremacy or something like that to really go off. Bolton needs either Lumina Ascension or Via the Vanguard to really go off for a massive turn. Whereas Briar, you got 9 plunder runs and you need a plunder run. It's just easier to go off and then she can block. It's just funny. Yeah. Okay. T-Dot says, wouldn't a rainbow of Mauvrin Skies be good with Runeblade to always push that rune chant threat? Yeah, and proc Rosetta for sure. Yeah, it definitely would. I know people have talked about that. Definitely more hit effects to make people block. Versus say the Minnowism or something like that, or Sting of Sorcery. I think the main thing is just that it's a hit effect versus like a Minnowism where it gives you an automatic +1. But the go again's pretty nice, so I could definitely see that. Even just maybe a blue and a yellow in there for sure. Yeah, the problem is that it only works with the Runeblade stuff, so it won't work with Belittle, it won't work with Exude Confidence, E-Strike, and things like that. So you will have to be playing Runeblade attacks. So I think you would have to be playing more of a meet and greet, consuming volition type strategy with that. Maybe even red Vexing Malice. Dash took one as well. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So let's keep going. Arcanic Crackle too. Yeah. Let's pop back here and look at some more of these. Dun dun dun. Briar's just good. I think the ice stuff can beat her, but ice hasn't been very popular or done that much leading up to this time. So people are like, okay, her weakness isn't really represented. So I feel fine doing it. She has a great matchup against most aggro decks. Chain is really the one that can do some work against her, because Chain's just so massive. Okay, let's look at Tyler Horseball. I know he had some more blues in here too, so I just want to see how this deck differs from John a little bit. Okay, so Tyler Horseball, I mean, shout out to this guy, winner of Vegas, and comes back and tops in Orlando with the Nationals event. That's just cool. Okay, so looking at his blues, obviously the Tome, Sting of Sorcery, Electrify, Captain's Call, Blink, Arcanic. So he was running Arcanic Shockwave and Blink were two different the only different blues, I believe. Blink is just another source of go again, obviously. So it can kind of, let me just think here. It could kind of be like a Mauvrin Skies, but it works with all the generic ones. I don't think he's running, he's not running like Tome or something like that to be able to give go again. Okay, and it's one where you can go after the fact, almost like an attack reaction off of a snatch. So that's pretty cool. The Arcanic Shockwave is so good in this deck because the mixed damage is unbelievable at being able to create embodiments of Earth, and with Sting of Sorcery, it's 2 damage off of it automatically. Crazy. Okay, let's look at his reds. Arcanic Shockwave, Ball Lightning. See, he was able to run Command and Conquer too because he was running blues and yellows. Electrify, E-Strike, and Twine Lightning, Exude Confidence. Lightning Press, Lightning Surge, Nimblism, Plunder Run, Rites of Lightning. See, he was not running Razor Reflex. Scar for a Scar, Sigil of Suffering. Here we go. Snatch, Weave Lightning. Okay, so it looks like the difference between their decks. Tyler is running Sigil of Suffering, which is pretty cool right there. And John was running Sink Below. Let's see. Scar. He was running Scar for Scar. That was a difference for sure. And I think here, Flicker Wisp. Now, Flicker Wisp, this card, dude, the first time I had this played against me was maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, early on in Tales of Aria. There's a local guy named Sam, and he pulled out Flicker Wisp into Sting of Sorcery into Ball Lightning. And I was just like, dude, this is broken. How are you supposed to win? It's crazy. Crazy, dude. So you can pull some really intense stuff out with this Flicker Wisp. It's pretty cool. You have to have more instances of Arcane coming out. So he's got the Shockwave. He's got Rites of Lightning. Yeah, see, he's run Rites of Lightning too, because he's got the blues and yellows and stuff. The blue Arcanic Shockwave as well, he's making sure he's running. So he's got those plus the Sting of Sorcery. And this card's pretty cool. Okay. Well, nice work, Tyler. Yeah, I don't think we just haven't seen many Flicker Wisps. Did anyone out here see any other ones? Check out chat. All right. Yeah, Steel Fur and Dice Commando. We're talking about changing how Briar works with embodiments. Okay, so I'm not on the ban or change Briar yet. I'm definitely not. I think she's incredibly powerful, has a lot of value. I think she can be countered if people can figure out how to make consistent ice decks. The problem is she is super oppressive against some of these other aggro decks. Katsu, it's such a hard matchup. Bolton, Dorinthia, it's just rough, dude. So she definitely has amazing matchups there. I think the biggest thing is that she can run with the generics where these other people can't. And I think that's where this comment is coming from, is that if she works with playing, what is it, like give her elemental or her like her elemental attacks or ice or sorry lightning or earth go again. Maybe that's just how the embodiment of lightning works, maybe. But I just don't like Aretas, man. I played Dragon Ball Z, and in order to play the game you had to study this errata list. It was like 3 pages long in like 10-point font, every single card that was errated, and I just don't want to go there. We haven't had that many events with this, and I think if we went back, Isaac might be able to win the thing. Like if they replayed it right now with that Ice Lexi deck, I think the only 2 decks that could beat it would be either John's or Tyler's, because they had the blues in their deck. I don't know if any of the other decks are beating that. I don't know if Chain's beating that or the completely red line Cheerio Rune Blades. So I'm not there yet. I don't think we should. Oh, this is what I was going to say. There have been 3 sets with Rune Blades now. So Rune Blade has an advantage with a deeper card pool. I say, this supplemental set is obviously going to give some more options to people. The next set that comes out that'll have repeats for, say, Wizard, maybe a third Warrior and stuff like that, as their card pools get deeper, I think we may be able to see some more dominance there. There's just, between generics and extra Runeblade cards and stuff, it does help with her. When I'm writing back to like Bolton, you have to run so many yellow versions of cards in the deck, where this Briar deck can run so many unique red cards and doesn't have to run doubles of stuff. Okay, let's look at some more stuff. So I think we got a lot. I gotta catch up real quick. Okay, so Aiden says, just got into FAB and went, ooh, Runeblade sounds cool. Ooh, Briar can be aggro or mid-range value. Oh, never mind. Runeblade meta don't have that kind of money. Yeah, Runeblade's gotten expensive. I remember Grasp of the Arcanite used to be really cheap because Viscerai was a little lower on the tier list and wasn't super great. Yeah. So the thing is, Chain is pretty cheap outside of, say, Art of Wars, which are those are pretty expensive, let's be real. Briar can be really cheap if you're not running Arcanic Skullcap. That's really the only super expensive card. Obviously Enlightened Strike, but that's not necessary to her playstyle. So you can run a lot of what she needs, and I think Briar would be a good way to go if you're looking to, and just don't run the legendaries as much. They're not essential to her playstyle, they just help her. Spellbound is a great way to gain an action point. Yeah, we saw Spellbound definitely in those chain decks for sure. It does work. The Snapdragon Scalers seems to work better in the Briar decks because they're all such low cost to where you don't necessarily want to pitch for the Spellbound Creepers. Maybe in one of the blue versions of the deck where you're running the more blues and yellows, it can be an option in there. Yeah, I'm not on the ban Briar cards, but I understand it's kind of oppressive at the moment. But it's not as oppressive as Chain was. No need to ban it, just change it to physical damage or elemental card to make embodiment or blocking words suffer. Flicker Wisp of Sting is nasty. It is. Build a deck to counter Briar. Yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about here. Josh is not on the bans either. New supplemental set might change it. I think so. As soon as you get some more options where these people don't have to run. Okay, Ice Lexi, she needs a 1-cost attack. That's what she needs. For sure. 1-cost ice attack. Okay. The 0 cost and lack of wanting to block are her biggest weaknesses. She gets super value out of blocking, but she doesn't want to block. The biggest thing is that, like, she can block if she has to when you have a big turn. So you have to, like, have consistent turns and make her full block and be able to follow it up with an amazing turn too. Yeah, okay. The 0 blocks. That's a good point. So the 0 blocks can be a weakness of her when you draw a bunch of ball lightnings and you have to block. Because you're like, shoot, I'm not getting any value out of these embodiment of Earths. And you're pulling out like snatches and command and conquers and stuff against me. That seems to be her biggest match or weakness. The problem is her weakness relies on having her draw poorly. It's not great. Chain match. I think the chain matchup really comes down to, can she get out of Channel Lake Frigid once Chain has 5 Soul Shackles out? If she can do that, she can win. And just make Chain start. Yeah. She has to have like 25, 30 life at that point. And then just kill him. Okay. Lexi was going to take it home. Got extremely unlucky to lose on the spot. Yeah, that 3 of a kind turn sucked, dude. That felt horrible. I think Isaac probably should have blocked that snatch there and gone for the 3 of a kind. But I mean, you can't really fault him there. Dun 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 dun. Okay. Is there a place tracking living legends points? I think there is on the FAB TCG website. I've seen it before. Just trying to remember. And we would have to give it a little bit for them to update. They had so many U.S. nationals, so it won't be up to date right now. By the end of the week, it will. I think they need to fix Rangers traps. Yeah, the Rangers traps suck, especially since there are no blocks at the end of the game. It's rough. Tunic. Oh shoot, Tunic. Tunic does not work with the cheap thing. You just gotta buy a Tunic and a Skull Cap, and then you're good. Because you could play them in every single deck takes one of those, it seems like. Only exception would be Prism. Yeah, Prism doesn't have to run either. but every other deck plays one of them, which is kind of cool. It's like getting your lands for MTG, except they really can be used in any deck. Okay, let's see. Michael Fang was a friggin' master using his creepers. Yeah, dude, those creepers can do work in chain for sure, especially in such an aggro meta where people aren't gonna block your arcane damage. Yeah, traps with instants could work. Yes. Yeah, you gotta be able to instant load up. Lexi needs that 1-cost ice. Yeah, the thing is with Dorinthia, let's say she attacks and Briar's attacking back, and they're kind of aggroing back and forth, and Briar kind of outdamages at first, but then Dorinthia starts to get some tokens on her counter after a turn or two, and now it's like all of a sudden she can start putting out some crazy damage. But you're going back and forth, and Briar has 4 embodiment of Earth tokens, and then she's like, okay, I'll block 15. And your only chance to win is having either a Singing Steelblade or a Twinning Blade at that point of the game. That's the only way you can win, and that's not even a guarantee to win. Because even then, she's like, okay, I guess I'll take a turn off and I'll just do 20 on my next turn. Oh, man. Okay. So, what do you think about a Tome of Fyendal plus 3 of a kind defensive combo? So, you're looking at play 3 of a kind, then play Tome of Fyendal just from your hand to get some life gain. It's okay, but you're not putting any pressure out and you're giving them a full hand then. I'm not a huge fan of that. You could do Tome of Fyendal with Channel Thunderstep or Blink. It's not as consistent, but that can give you a huge hand with a 3 of a kind turn to do some damage. I just don't like Tome of Fyendal without being able to do some damage with it. So I think it combos great with Thunderstep and Blink. It's just kind of inconsistent. We played a match with that on stream where the entire deck was just focused on that, and it would do like 20 actions in a turn and do 12 damage. You'd be like, what on earth just happened? But it was fun. Yeah, it was all about like Thunderstep and like playing snatches and stuff like that, and Tome of Fyendal and just crazy draws. But too inconsistent. I just don't like Tome without it. I think it's just not there. It's just not there. Maybe someone can perfect it. But I think you have to go to offensive if you do it. So Cody says, yes, there is a tracking system for Living Legends. Awesome. Yeah, I think we just got to wait on it to get updated. Play 3 of a kind, Tome of Fyendal from Arsenal, draw 6, gain 6 pass. It's like, yeah, that's kind of cool, but you had to keep some cards in your hand and take some damage your last turn, and your opponent has a full hand. I'm just not a huge fan. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Store traps like the soul. That would be kind of cool. Okay. Reload equipment help 3 of a kind turn. Okay. I'm gonna go to another list real quick and then I'll come back. I think I may have to go through chat faster, dude. It's just fun seeing this. Thank you for everyone just being so on top of it and having some good comments here. All right, so we've looked at 2 of these here. I'm gonna save Tarek's or Tariq's. Can someone give me a clarification on that? They said Tarek in the live stream. I just want to make sure that's right. Okay, let's look at Michael Fang's. So he played in the finals here, and he was also running Belittle, right? Yeah, so they both were running Belittle. And how many Minnowisms was he running? He was running 2 red and Two blue? Two blue. Okay, so they have the same thing there. Pretty awesome to see. Let's look at some differences here. So come to fight as a one of just another non-attack action, probably just to get his ratios right. He needed one more, and it's a 3-block one. Pretty cool. He's got the bounding. He's got the commands. 2 exude confidence. 1 fate foreseen. So people are starting to come onto this. You know, hey, shout out John Cydek again. He was running 3 of these in his Vegas list. First time I saw that. Flock of the Featherwalkers, Ghostly Visit, from Beyond, 1 Nimblism. So interesting, he has 1 Nimblism and 1 Come to Fight. So it could just be because of his cost ratios, or maybe he didn't know which one he liked better. Plunder Runs, obviously, Riftbind, Shadow Puppetry, 1 Sigil of Suffering. Here we go. Sigil of Suffering in this deck, which... Cool. Soul Reaping, Unhallowed, Art of War, 1 yellow Bounding, 3 yellow Captain's Calls, awesome, and a Seeping Shadows. Bounding Demo, okay, so you had 1 blue but 3 yellow. To be fair, the yellow are pretty good because you have so many 1-cost stuff in this deck. Eclipse, 2 blue Flock, 2 Invert, 3 Mauvrin, 2 Minnowism, Plunder, Shadow. Okay, so he has got a lot of similarities in this deck, some little differences on numbers, card count in here, but a lot of the same cards. The Minnowism combo still has a bunch of those 3 costs and less, obviously. I want to know if anyone saw his matches on stream, if he got off Eclipse. So if he saw a match against Bravo or against Dash, maybe against Prism, somebody, if he got off Eclipse in that matchup. I just want to know if he was doing it every single time he played a control deck. All right. So obviously he has a lot of non-attacks in here to fill in for the seeds. Pretty cool. And neither of them are running Tremor. Yeah, Tremor of Irathiel, I think. Neither of them are running that. So that's cool. We did see that in the Cincinnati list. Neither of them are running it here. Belittle is what they're going for, which I love the tutoring for your weapon. Okay. So pretty sweet there. I love that. Let's look real quick at the other Briar lists, and then we'll save Tarek's and Isaac's for the end. Okay, so Diggins. All right. We got this is more of a red line thing. Obviously it has some blues in it because they normally have some. But I don't think we're we do see Command and Conquer. Okay. So I guess he thinks he's got enough yellow and blue to make that happen. He's definitely siding in all of them in that case. Crackle, Shockwave, Ball Lightning, Command and Conquer, Electrify, E-Strike, Twine Lightning. He's got 3 Evergreens and 0 Ninth Blades. 3 Exude Confidence, obviously. Lightning Press, Surge, Nimblism, Plunder Run, Ravenous Rabble, Scars, 3 Sigils. Here we go. So he's running the Sigil and Sinks. I love it. Okay. So he's got both of those to come in. Again, pretty good against when they can go against snatches against you. Weave Lightning, 9 of Ball Lightning here. Nope, just a 6 of Ball Lightning. 5 Lightning Press. Okay. And the Rainbow Plunder Run. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so this is more of your classic Cheerio build. You'll see the difference. They'll run more of like Arcanic Crackle here just to really get those. The Ravenous Rabble is definitely an inclusion in this type of one. Obviously the Scars. Sweet. I like that he's got the Sigils and the Sink Belows. That's cool to see. Awesome. Awesome. Well, congrats, Mr. White. Pretty sweet. Love to see it. I wonder if anyone has like any cool stories about like people timing up their tome, Gorgonian tomes, and just what that's like. Or if people are using Sink Below and they sink below them and can pull it off at the end. That's what I want to see. I don't think we looked at Jacob's, did we? Wait, Jacob had blue. Okay, Jacob had more blues in his deck too. I was just wrong. I didn't think he did. So let's look at this real quick. He does have the Crackle and the Ravenous Rabble though. So he's going to side in the blues, I think, against certain decks. So this is interesting. So he's got the blues here. He is running the Force of Nature, which is awesome. Let's see. Does he have... What modifiers does he have? Obviously the Plunder runs. He's got Art of War in here. Okay, so Art of War is pretty cool because he can do that as a reaction. So awesome to see. Is he's not running the Scar for a Scar, or sorry, the Razor Reflex, but he does have the Art of Wars there to replace it. He's got Nimblism and the Lightning Press. He has it as a 3 of, and the Plunder runs. Okay, awesome. 666. All right, what else here? We got, dude, yes, the Coax of Commotion. All right, this guy, he is running every 0-4 here. Sick. And the thing is about Coax of Commotion, if it hits, you can give the go again against like a control deck sort of thing, like against a Bravo when they've already, I don't know. Against Bravo, sometimes this is not as good. Command and Conquer, E-Strike, Entwine, Plunder, Scar, Snatch. Okay. And he's got the, yeah, he's got the 6 Lightning Press then. Sweet. I love it. And the Pulse. Force of Nature can also go off with Captain's Call, so he's got tons of modifiers for that. Sweet. All right, congrats, Jacob. All right, I'm going to pop over to chat real quick, and then we'll look at these last two. Saving that Ice Lexi and our winner, Mr. Patel, for the end. So I probably missed a ton of chat. Sorry if I miss yours. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Yeah, I am excited for this next set to just see what they'll do to fill out some of these heroes. And I think the biggest thing is some heroes, they have to run a bunch of yellows of stuff when they don't want to, and just kind of filling them out with more options to be able to do that with someone like Briar, who, like I said before, she can run the Scar for Scars, the Ravenous Rabbles, and it doesn't penalize her because it doesn't work with her ability. So I do understand why people are saying that as an errata. I just don't want to go the errata route. Okay. Da 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 da. So, yeah, people liking the Ravenous Rabble, so good in those red decks. The Nationals with Rhino versus Briar was cool. Oh wait, I think I heard about that. Rhino in the finals. That's pretty insane. I'd like to see what the rest of that meta looked like. Because Rhino, don't see him being able to beat Briar. I'll tell you that much. The Briar player realized early on that the Rhino was going to fatigue him. It came down to just using Rosetta to hit. Yeah, so that's what you got to do. So maybe that was part of his thing. He was going to fatigue, and people didn't realize that, so they weren't siding in that way. That can definitely be a real thing, because when you side in, I'm sure he was playing the club there, not claws. He definitely can. You can play a ton of defense reactions in the deck and play it similarly to a Bravo that just blocks and swings club sort of thing instead of hammer. The only difference that your armor doesn't block as well as Bravo's does, but you can still do it pretty effectively. Pretty much everything of yours blocks 3. You have a super efficient weapon and stuff like that. Let's see, the surprise pummel, definitely. The problem is, if you're good at running an aggro deck, it's really hard to fatigue you. It's just really hard. If you can time it up, use your weapon right, save up for big turns. If someone doesn't expect it early on, well then, yeah, you got that element of surprise and stuff like that. So, congrats to that Rhino player, man. That's pretty sweet. And Intimidate too. Okay, we got another reason, is because Intimidate can get around those non-attack actions. Let's look at the Matt Rogers Viscerai list. Okay, does someone know where that is? Because that would be cool to see. How did Matt Rogers finish? I know he was doing really well. I saw, I think he was 8th going into top 8. So, doesn't surprise me. I would love to see that list too. So, definitely let me know if we have that list anywhere. 80s Bear's really happy. Chain did well. He definitely is. He definitely, especially into this aggro meta. Chain's still Chain. Chain is still Chain. It was a healthy ban. Okay. I'm surprised more people didn't get Reiner. The Intimidate is great. Apparently Reiner got in the finals. Other Reiners put out. Yeah, the problem is he just doesn't put out enough damage. And just the value there against aggro decks isn't quite there. And you do kind of have to go for this fatigue strategy similarly to a Bravo. Dude, Viscerai though. Oh no, skipped. Viscerai is the hero that I wanted to play from the moment I saw him. He's a big part of what made me want. Viscerai's cool, dude. And some people like him. I love that Arknight Shard. I want to know if Rogers was playing it. It's a cool card. I do love that card. I don't think actually going in the deck side. Okay. Oh, was this coming out at 140p? There's no way. There's no way. Internet might go, it might be poor at times and drop down. Like the streams from time to time has dropped down in quality because I have this on like low latency so I can see the comments right away. Maybe I should switch that to like a medium latency, seeing as I have to come back for these comments anyway. That might be the solution here, so it doesn't drop down in quality at all. Okay, most people don't talk about liking Chain or Briar in the same way they do about Viscerai. No. Well, no one likes to play the hands-on favorite. Everyone likes the underdog. So everyone likes Viscerai, right? Dude, Viscerai did have his moment, though. End of Blitz season last year. He was able to beat Ira. We saw a ton. The last few skirmishes, he was taking him out. Which is pretty cool. Guys, there was once in a skirmish, I was playing Ira, and my opponent, his camera wasn't working. So he had to, he couldn't use his voice at all. And for some reason, it was like he could use his voice or he could use the camera to see, but for some reason, both of them weren't working. And I don't know why, but I said, you know what, just use your voice. So that way I can understand what you're playing and things like that. We can talk this through because otherwise we're going to go to time. So I'm like, just use your voice and don't use the camera. And then he's walking me through what he's pulling out. And he goes, third tournament of the game with a bunch of rune chants out. He goes, Slogism, Arknight Ascendancy. And I'm like, crap. And the only way I was going to survive this really was to use my Mask of Momentum at that point and just break my tunic and all of this. So I do that. He still creates some rune chants, and I had really a weak turn coming back at him. And then next turn he goes Slogism. I'm like, no way you had that again. Arknight Ascendancy comes in at me and he kills me with it. I'm like, dude, come on. There's no way you do that 2 turns in a row. So I learned, yeah, don't do that. But Viscerai is fun, dude. I did always like Viscerai. Okay. I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes. I don't care if he's meta. I'd rather keep him around for 10 plus years instead of hitting him legendary status. Yeah, Viscerai is cool. I would like a little bit more power for him. His stuff, the 3-cost stuff, it's just hard to pull that off because you can set up for it, but he's just a little bit slower. The value on his cards just isn't quite there. Obviously, Matt Rogers said differently. I think Matt Rogers was probably playing it more as an aggro deck with less of those 3-cost stuff, and he probably wasn't even playing Arknight Ascendancy. He was probably playing a bunch of Mauvern Skies and things like that, if I had to guess. He lost in the semifinals of the calling. Okay, so he did good. He got top 4. I would love to see that. Chain still Chain. Here's the mat list. Okay, on phone he's getting 480, but set to 1080. Okay, so we can still get it. Sweet. Wait, here's the mat list. But where is it? You said here. Am I just not getting it on here? Maybe it's on the YouTube, but I'm not seeing it on OBS. Oh, okay. Azalea is one of your favorites. Yeah, everyone likes the Arc Heroes. Everyone likes Azalea. I'm going to be honest. I don't like Azalea. I like Viscerai. Azalea just doesn't do it for me. It just, you feel bad when you play. I'm just like, I can't do anything. Maybe the link didn't come through. Oh, sometimes, dude, I don't think they let you drop links in like live stream comments. I don't think they let you do that. Okay, I'm gonna look at these lists here. Let's see if maybe we can just direct to where that would be. Let's look at Mr. Isaac's list. So we got Ice Lexi here. This was everyone's favorite. Everyone was pulling for Lexi to make it to the top, man. And I think he was the favorite going into it. We did see some of the Briars did play more blues, so they would be able to handle Lexi, but still that does seem like a good matchup there, and it's a good matchup for Chain. The problem is the inconsistency, and we saw that at the end with the 3 of a kind turn. It just happens that way sometimes. It bites, because then what happened was he did 3 of a kind, whiffed on it, and he took some damage the turn before. So he took some damage to do this turn, and then he ended up his turn with a 6-card hand to an arsenal. But then his opponent came back with a full hand, went at him, and he ended up having to break his headpiece, and New Horizon then got rid of both cards in his arsenal, so he didn't get any value out of that either, and it was just crushing. Just absolutely crushing. But let's look at this list. So Blizzard Bolt, Bolt and Shot, Chilling Ice Vein, some of your best arrows here, obviously. Only one Cold Wave, interesting. So to me, Cold Wave feels like, oh, this is your best arrow into these control matchups. He said, you know what, I don't need to do that. Command and Conquer, 3 of, Dazzling Crescendo. I think that's his only, like, lightning type card. This is obviously here just as a 0-cost elemental arrow to work with, let's see, to work with like Weave Lightning or Weave Ice, I assume. Yeah, that's definitely what he was doing. Endless Arrow, my absolute favorite card in this deck in Lexi. I think it's incredibly, maybe second behind 3 of a kind. But 3 of a kind probably dropped in people's tier rankings after this weekend. But Endless Arrow is insane. Icequake is so good. It's so good. I didn't think it was super powerful, but then I played it and I was like, yeah, it is a good card. Pulse of Volthaven, Remorseless, Searing Shot, another 0-cost. So clearly he's trying to just have some 0-cost in this deck so he can do follow-up arrows off of a 1 blue pitch. Seek and Destroy. Take Cover as I think his only defense reaction. Yeah, 3 of a kind, obviously. Weave Ice, Winter's Bite. So he's got Winter's Bite as a blue, as a yellow, and yeah, okay, so he's got as an 8 of. Pretty awesome, pretty awesome. Okay. Blizzard Bolt as a 1 of here on yellow, probably 3 Chilling Ice Vein. Yeah, probably has Chilling Ice Vein in blue too. No. Okay. Icequake yellow, 1 Remembrance, Winter's Bite. Okay, here we go. Some more ices. Blizzard, Channel Lake Frigid, Icequake, Icy Encounter. Okay, so here he does have the attack here. This is just what sucks. This card just doesn't jive with the deck. It just doesn't quite work. It's great for limited play, but this is where you want to see Lexi have a better answer in her card pool, and she just doesn't quite have that. The ice attacks are not great for what Lexi wants to do. So yeah, she needs some more like non-attacks or some sort of ice attack that really helps you with your arrow kind of strategy. And the Polar Blast, Winter's Blight. All right, let's count the arrows he has in this deck. Okay, 3, 6, 9, 10, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22, 25, 28, dun 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 dun, 31. Okay, 31 in the deck, in the full deck. Yeah. See, that's the problem with this. It's so tight to where for the consistency, I think you do need more than 31 in the deck. But then at that point, it's like, okay, what am I cutting? I think he has to cut probably Command and Conquer, because like you don't want to miss on those 3 of a kinds here. And Command and Conquer is such a good card, but it's like to get the consistency, you have to cut some of these like really good cards to actually have that. 31's okay if you're running 60 in every single matchup, which I'm sure he was running 60. It's just, yeah, dude. Just hard to see. I mean, maybe like could replace Command and Conquer with like a blue Chilling Ice Vein, or with a, what could you put? A blue Headshot, no, you already have the Searing Shots here, Remorseless. Possibly a Sleep Dart could be a replacement there for that. But it's just hard. It's just hard. How many ice cards? We got 3, 6, 9, 10, 13, 16, 18, 19, 22, 25, 26, 29. Okay, 29 here, which is a lot. Yeah, I think you need to have so many. If you want to get Channel like Frigid out, you got to be running that. So it's like you want to run your max amount each game, but to cut down to 60 is just hard. We need like, she needs an arrow that is an ice, or an arrow that is a lightning. I think that's what she needs. She needs a really strong arrow that is an elemental and the element itself. I think that will help her get a little more consistency for sure. Okay, so congratulations, Isaac. Nice work picking that meta counter and taking it all the way to the top. I'm gonna pop over to chat and then we'll look at the winner's deck. Let's check this out here. We got a lot. I'm gonna try to catch up real quick. Okay, excited to see the Oldhim list from the calling. Yeah, I am too. That's gonna be amazing. Check Discord, John. Okay, I will check Discord. I will pull this up. Oh no, my phone is going off. I got calls. Josh called me too. Ernie's auto service called me. Oh no. Okay, let's check out this Discord. Check it out in a second. I'm gonna read the rest of these and I'll look at this. Okay, Viscerai definitely an underdog for sure. Yeah, we're calling it Briar. We've been calling it Briar Cheerio deck. Yeah, for sure. Are you saying Cheerios now? Is that what it should be? Because it's got some blue 0 costs now. Maybe it can be fruity Cheerios. Okay. Yeah, very surprised no Sleep Dart. That would be a good one against... That's one of your better generic arrows against Briar for sure. So did he have... I'm just blanking. Did he have the Dominate one? The Dominate arrow? Starts with an F. Something. I don't know. The Dominate one's good with Icequake, but it's not great. Sleep Dart. Oh, yeah. The problem is Sleep Dart doesn't play off a Weave Ice. So I guess Flake Out. That's what it's called. Flake Out might work there. Ugh. Yeah, we need a Sleep Dart arrow that costs 0 and is an ice and a lightning and an elemental. LSS, make it happen. CNC is definitely not handy if you want deck consistency. Hero abilities are hard to trigger with, considering it's a generic. Yeah, I'm just not sure how I like Command and Conquer there. I would love to hear Isaac's thoughts on that after running the list. If he would make changes, if he would take out Command and Conquer there. Ice Lexi needs to be Death Dealer with Shock Charmers that besides to Voltaire in the non-Briar matchups. Okay, so wait, Ice Lexi needs to be Death Dealer with Shock Charmers that sides to the Voltaire in the non-Briar matchups. Okay, so against Briar, You're saying Death Dealer Ice. I have not done Death Dealer Ice. I've done Death Dealer Lightning. I've played against Death Dealer Lightnings. Have not tried the Death Dealer Ice. So that's interesting. Are you just doing that for the extra pitch, basically? Okay, the 60 versus aggro is 22 arrows, 29 ice, 3 of a kind, CNC, and Seek and Destroy. Okay. So the Seek and Destroy and see, yeah, 22 arrows with 3 of a kind. It's just not the greatest chances. I would be interested to hear if he would change that going back. I feel like cutting CNC and going up to 25. I think you need like 30 arrows. Obviously, he piloted this great, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it happens every once in a while and you have to live with it. For the deck to be powerful enough, you just have to live with every once in a while you can have an inconsistent draw. I feel like maybe the CNC is coming out for arrows to get to 25 would work. Viscerai showing his big deck in the DMs. Oh, gosh. Okay. Viscerai is in my Discord DMs. Oh. Now I see. Oh, sweet. Thanks, dude. Here it is. Okay. I will pull it up. 23 is too small. Okay, guys. Is Rosetta Thorn the problem or Briar? I think the problem is that Briar can play all of these generic type stuff and has a wider card pool for cards that work with her ability and her strategy. You got your Ravenous Rabbles, you have all the generic, there are tons of generic Rune Blades and they all work with her. And you just don't need to run all the elemental stuff. She can just work with these generic type things. Obviously, Rosetta Thorn is pretty insane, so that's pretty good too. I just think it's her power procs off of everything, and the defensive ability of her power. I think it would almost be fine if the embodiment of Earths can really wreck like aggro decks that like to set up for big turns. It kind of makes them, because they can't, like decks that need a 5-card hand to do their huge thing, they can't not block you and go back for the crackback. They always have to block a little bit. And you just don't have high enough armor value. So it's almost like you hope for them to have a off turn, like with maybe one attack when you go for your big turn sort of thing. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. 1 blue pitch, CNC for 9 with Frostbite on hit. Yes. I have actually been hit by that before. Well, not hit. I had to block. But yeah, I forget about that. That is a play because Icequake does work with the non-elementals. It's super good. It's just that 3 of a kind play is just so frustrating. Yeah, Rosetta Thorn is so good in Chain. And it can make Spellbound Creeper so good. Endless Arrow, I love it. Okay, so let's look at the winning deck, and then I'm going to look at this Viscerai list, because I got it. Thanks to Cody. Appreciate that. Got it in my DMs. All right, let's look at this thing. All right. We've got another one that's got, he's got 4 different blues here, so slightly higher than normal, but definitely your Redline Cheerio deck. Arcanic Crackle, Shockwave, Ball Lightning, Red Captain's Call. Here we go. Does he have red? Does he have yellow? No. Okay. I'm just wondering why. Okay, is he running this because it can go with Command and Conquer? That's what I'm thinking is the advantage over yellow. And he's like, I'm not pitching anyway. Okay. Dude, he has a Coax too. Sick. Command and Conquer's E-Strike, Entwined Lightning, Exude Confidence, Lightning Press, Lightning Surge, Nimbalism, Plunder Run. Is he running the 9 of? Plunder Run, Yep. Scar for a Scar, Rabble, Snatch, Sonata Arcanics. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so we got Sonata in this deck, which is pretty sweet. That's a difference we're seeing. Sonata is just pretty freaking insane, especially with Sting of Sorcery. It's always good to have that. It's just one of these kind of high variance cards. But still good. And you know what? Worst case scenario, you're like, you know, I have some tempo in this game. I think I'm going to win the game. I don't need to gamble with things. I'll use Sonata as a block on this turn. I'll block 4, block 5 with it, you know? And best case scenario, you're like, I'm down. I need to get some more damage off here. I need to gamble a little bit. Let's go Sonata. I got decent chances on it. So that's cool. He's got the Ball Lightning. Is it a 9 of? It's a 6 of. Yeah, 9 of Ball Lightning. You are running a risk of drawing him at the wrong time. Got the Pulse, the Ravenous Rabble Yellow. Now that is okay. I did actually hear someone talk about this. This is sick. This is just a slap in the face. Oh man, someone pulls this off against you. I love it. The Captain's Calls, the Plunder Runs, the Stings, and the Timestamp here. Okay, so yeah, I mean against control, he's probably just like, I can go wide enough, and you're not gonna be able to stop me. Which does seem like that's the case. You can't really fatigue a deck like this that can go this wide. It's just super hard, especially when you have... He's got the Pulse in here to kind of set up, and he's got the time snaps. He's not playing anything to fight against a Prism aggro because your deck can just do a lot of damage, and you're not that scared of that anyway. So he's just like, I know what I do well, and I'm just going to do it better than everyone. So this was sick. Obviously played it to a super high level. Congrats. Amazing. He's got the Shock Charmers and the Grasp of the Arcanite in here too. Okay. So I want to know what matches he was playing Shock Charmers in. Is there a chance he just... Because he's obviously doesn't have the blue count. Did he just run Shock Charmers for the Spell Void? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Was it just in there for the Spell Void? Okay. If someone was there, or you saw on stream him play Shock Charmers, let me know. That would be sweet. So, congrats. Let's hop back over, and then we're going to look at the Viscerai deck in a second, too. And maybe we'll look at more of those lists next time. We'll want to get another one of these for sure. Maybe we can go over the top 8 lists in the pro or in the calling. Let's see any chat stuff. Okay. Yeah, Captain called a CNC, dude. That's what the red one can do. The Coax a Commotion too. I love that they were both playing it. The fruit. Yes. Okay. I like this. Good work, Imagination Hobbies. This is what I was really looking for. Okay, so the completely like red line ones are Cheerios. But the ones that have more blues and yellows, those are the Fruit Loops decks. You heard it here, folks. Imagine Hobbies. I like it. The Fruit Loop decks. Okay. Briar can gain Go Again and give each card additional block, no setup required. Lexi requires setup, gets 1 Go Again, or gives the 1 Frostbite. 1 card gives both. Not good design. So yeah, Briar is... pretty insane. The consistency damage to like turn to turn is great. She has a wider card pool, it seems like she can choose from, and she's not forced into running her own cards. It's real good. It's real good. I don't know. We'll see if there's other things that can beat it besides the ice, besides Chain. Obviously Chain can hang with any aggro deck. It's just real good. It's real nasty. The block is nice. Whew. Okay. Oh, dude, I just checked. We got like 80 viewers on. I love to see that, man. Sweet. I am happy right now. This is cool. We are going to check out the Viscerai Matt Rogers deck in just a second here. We just went over all the top 8 lists. So again, congrats to anyone. Consistent. Yeah, dude, Briar is just so consistent because what she does, she can do it turn to turn. The only thing is if she draws a 4 non-attack action turn, at that point you just block out, but if you get it at the wrong time, you're like, okay, I guess I'll just block out and set up. It's not as good, but still, you're like hoping, praying she draws a 4 non-attack or a 4 attack action when your opponent goes off, sort of thing. Hello to Michael from Sweden. Thank you. Appreciate the shout out. All right, guys, let's tune over and check out this Viscerai list for a second here. I'm just gonna pop onto Discord here. Into the pit. That's not it. Am I checking on the browser version? How do I check my DMs? There we go. Okay. So, this is the Viscerai Matt Rogers list, huh? Okay, he's got Reaping Blade and Rosetta Thorn. So life gain would mainly be Bravo. He's got a Skull Cap, a Blood Sheath, a Crown, Grass, and Spellbound. This would be pretty standard for him. Spellbound is so good. I feel like this is the card Viscerai needed, because he can give him Go Again in a more aggro version. So, yeah, I bet he's not... I was saying before, I bet he's not running any of, like, your classic big attack, your... I can't even think what it's called, but he's not running it. Your Dominate one. Yeah, he's going to aggro it. Is he running the 9 Mauvrin? It looks like 6 Mauvrin. Okay, let's go card by card. Amplify the Arknight. It can be a 0 cost 6. Obviously, it's pretty crazy. 2 Command and Conquer. 3 E-Strike. 3 Meet and Greet. 3 Mordred Tide. 3 Rattlebones. Dude, Rattlebones is cool. Read the runes. 1 reduced to Rune Chant main deck and 2 side deck. Interesting. 3 Rune Flash. So this is your one. This card's real good, but it's just... You kind of float the line between setting up and not setting up, so it kind of makes it weird at times, but its value can be great as a 0/4 Go Again. That's a 3 block. Sigil of Suffering, 3 in the side deck, and 3 Sink Belows. Okay, so he can switch to play defensive if he needs to. I mean, these are some good defense reactions too. Sonata is a 3 of, Spellblade Assault. Spellblade Assault is great to finish your turn with and come back with a Rune Flash. So the Mauvrin, interesting, is a side deck. So this may be just if he needs to go wider against control decks. So he's got 9th Blade in there. This looks like it's probably just for against Prism. I don't think he's setting it up. He's got red and yellow, read the runes, and Runeblood Barrier can help him set up. This is probably again against control decks. Amplify the Arknight, just a great blue. Become the Arknight. Dread Triptych. This off of Mordred Tide is insane. Okay, so even the blue Mauvrin are side deck. Okay. Oath of the Arknight. Spellblade. Vexing Malice. And Whisper of the Oracle. I mean, it makes sense because you need that non-attack action anyway. It's just, it's not great power. It just makes you wish, like, this is the kind of reason that you need, I mean, yeah, okay, it can work with Sonata, it can work with Gaiganian Tome, but this right here is the reason you just need a deeper card pool of stuff that just works for Viscerai. Non-attack actions that can go again that maybe somehow have to do with Rune Chant tokens, something like that. Somewhere he can play that really helps him out as a 3 block, but won't help Briar. Okay, so we can see that it's kind of more of a mid-rangey, aggro-leaning deck. He's not going for this super big setup. He can more set up for, like, go wide turns, but then also he can side in the Rune Bloods if he needs to set up the the stuff. He's got the Blood Sheath, so he's got great defense here. And the arcane damage. So the arcane damage, obviously from his rune chance, is going to be pretty consistent here, which is nice against these decks that aren't playing Arcane Barrier. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna be able to keep my Spellbound Creepers around forever. I'm gonna hit you with these meet and greets. They're gonna have go again. I'm gonna be able to do E-strikes with a card draw. I'll follow it up with a Mauvrin Skies into whatever, I don't even know. And then follow that up with Rosetta Thorn. So he's probably trying to do like non-attack, attack, Rosetta Thorn, or possibly attack, Spellbound, non-attack, attack, Rosetta Thorn. So like 2 to 3 attacks in a turn, probably 2 attacks in a turn. And yeah, dude, Viscerai, I've always thought Viscerai seems to be the hardest deck to build, because you have to balance this ability to build the rune chance. And so it kind of has this mid-range feel to it, but then you have to be able to consistently go off enough to be able to do enough attacks on your turn. So doing this Viscerai aggro deck has always seemed hard for me as a deck builder. So awesome work, Matt Rogers. I love this. This is super fun. I'm sure people will be playing this deck like crazy going forward. People want to make Viscerai work, and he showed that Viscerai can. So what did this deck lose to? That's what I want to know. Did it lose to a Briar in the top 4? Did it lose to an Oldhim? What did it lose to? Yeah, I'm going to pop over to chat. Okay. Okay, so Superworm, shout out for dropping into the chat. He's saying make Arknight Shard non-legendary. Now that... Oh my gosh, that would be so good in Chain, just as another free source of stuff. Oh no, wait, no, you're not saying that. No, you're saying make it non-legendary, meaning he can run 3 of. That would be an expensive deck. I can just imagine someone getting into the game, they're like, oh, this Viscerai looks kind of cool, and they pull it up, and it's 3 legendaries that are out of print. It's like a $4,000 deck or something. They're like, what am I supposed? There's no way I'm playing this game. Oh man. Okay, that would be pretty crazy. Cody just DM'd me again, saying the top 8 from the calling right here. Okay, here it was. All right, this is what I want to see. Thank you. Okay, so Matt Rogers played Dante Delfico against Briar, so showing that he can take on a good Briar. So he beat him there, and then he played Joel Repta on another Briar, and he did lose to it. Interesting. Okay. And then Joel played Michael in the end, and Michael took it all. Okay. Man. Okay. Yeah, let me pull this up. I don't know why I'm looking at it, not showing you guys. What kind of streamer am I? What am I doing? Okay, Neo Montoya. Let's pull this up here. So, yeah, Dante versus Rogers. So in the top 8, 500 against the Briars is pretty good. He's shown that he can do it. I'm sure he's going to come out with a FAB with Matt on this. Like, this is just a hot topic. People want to see this and hear this. This is pretty cool. You had obviously some more Briars here. The Oldhim versus Chain, you had it 2 times in a row, which is pretty cool. Dude, Oldhim, if you can get off Channel Lake Frigid at the right time, just freaking wrecks Chain. But if you don't get it at the right time, or you just have a dead turn, Chain pushes through for 25, 30 damage. You know? Oh, dude. Oldhim beat the Bravo here. Nice. Nice. Okay, so this will be cool. we'll look into this next time when we have all these deck lists. I'm sure Cody can message me all the deck lists. But we do not have time for that today. I will for sure get into that, though. I definitely want to go over these. So either Josh or I will do that, because these are just cool, man. And some of these other nationals, too, we want to look at these. We've spent a lot of time on US. But we got someone, Superworm, shouting out the Switzerland. 2 Briars in the top 8 and none in the top 4. Very interesting. So we had a lot of diversity outside of the US. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Yeah, Sean's asking, does anyone have that Oldham list? Like, yeah, anyone got that Oldham list? Dude, that's gonna be another hot one, man. Another hot one for sure. I know Josh put Oldham up pretty high in his tier list, and he was getting some flack for that. But that's pretty cool to see that they had 2 top 8s there. I'm sure you can look it up. Cody, can you come to the rescue again? We're just relying on you. Yeah, dude. So this is pretty sweet to see these. Yeah, people are gonna be all about that Oldham list. We'll look at that more next time. It may be just something you can look up on FAB. I don't know. It'll be on the main website soon. They've got so many nationals to go over that they're gonna probably take a week to get everything uploaded, honestly. It's just, I'm sure they're extremely busy right now. Yeah, dude. So this was really fun. Does anyone have any final questions for me or final comments that they want to let the world know before we tune out today? I'll be checking the chat. I don't know, man. I love this. How long have we've been, dude, it's been 1:20. These just fly by. It's pretty cool. But I finished my coffee. Got the last drop there. I'm going to be excited to see some more. This is an exciting time for now. For me, in my mind, though, I'm looking at where's this going to next? Are people going to switch over to Blitz? Obviously, we have the skirmish season starting up over the next, like, 3 or 4 weeks. You're going to be playing skirmishes. Are people going to want to switch over to Blitz? Are people going to want Blitz content from us content creators? Or do they want to stick with the constructed? I think last year it was a little different. We didn't have a ton of players outside of New Zealand playing. So you had them. I think they were maybe a little reluctant to switch to Blitz, but after they did, they had fun with that. But it was really easy to get some of the new countries started on Blitz. It was a good starting point for people, especially when cards were harder to get. Unlimited stuff was expensive, and alpha stuff was super expensive. So I don't know. I don't like switching back and forth. I'll say that. I really hate switching back and forth. Blitz, I don't like as much as constructed. It's fun, though. I like that you can get a lot of games in really quickly. So testing for it is cool, and it's better for new players for sure. So yeah. Okay. Make more vids playing with Josh. Yeah, we need to. We're streaming Mondays and Thursdays. We're going to start pulling out. We've done it a few times. We're going to start pulling out our best games from those and just making sure we constantly update those. And then whenever we have time, running other games and stuff like that. Some final questions. How will the meta adjust to Briar and Oldham this coming week to the rest of the season? I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see. People are going to be looking to these other nationals for sure. It's the Wild West out there. I still think Briar's the best. There are some answers, but Briar's good. Briar's good. Josh just letting it happen, man. Streaming every Monday and Thursday night. We'll be streaming tonight. Make sure to check that out. Tonight from 7 to 10 p.m. we will be streaming. We got some live gameplay. We'll be picking out the best games from there to upload afterwards. Twitch.tv/HometownTCG. Don't switch, just always play everything. Dude, the thing is, I have so many constructed decks. We've been slowly amassing them since the beginning of Tales of Aria, and I've got, between Josh and I, we have maybe 12 different decks built that are just ready to go. Are we gonna have to switch them to Blitz decks? Man. Oh. I wish we could just have, dude, it's just a lot to like switch over all your cards. We have to buy like 12 Command and Conquers. No, what we got to do is just print out more proxies. Okay, end of November is when Italy has theirs. Okay, so they still have a few weeks. It's not even like next weekend. That will be cool to see. And it'll give us some more time to talk about Constructed. I love it. I love it. I love it. Sergio likes sticking with CC, maybe some draft. Yeah, we haven't really ever done draft. We've talked, I mean, we talked about draft at the beginning of Monarch season, but haven't really done content like showing videos on it. Matthew Falk says Blitz just feels watered down. Yeah, I think it is. I think the biggest thing for me is that you never really see the bottom of your deck in Blitz unless you're playing against Ira. And it's, yeah, you don't get some of that. Your equipment, you have to really save it for the right time. You just use it super early in Blitz. In Constructed though, you have to really save it, and then it becomes just this slog fest at the end. Josh says we're giving Twitch blah 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 blah. Repeats the YouTube stuff. Okay, awesome. Yeah, the thing I do like, Leo, you can test Blitz really quickly and see the lines of play. I don't know. It's just interesting. It's really interesting. Josh and I had this talk about Blitz in Constructed, and he's like, in Magic, you can be just a modern player, or you can be just a whatever player. You know, there's a million different formats, little things. You have your popular ones, but you could just play standard. In this, it's like, is the community big enough to really have a separate Blitz community and a separate Constructed community? We just don't know if the game's big enough yet. So does it have to transfer back and forth? I'll be interested to see what LSS does, because they clearly promoted Blitz heavily last time around. This time around, bigger player base and stuff, but not huge yet. People are more into the Constructed at this point, so maybe they keep pushing Constructed, but they also have Blitz stuff, Blitz support as well. So maybe they go for that mix there. I don't know. People, it's kind of split in the community. We see advantages to both. I like Constructed personally. But yeah. Let's see. Jacob says chain creepers in Blitz will be fire. Yes, it will. It'll have creepers every single turn. Oh, the thing is, in Blitz, you do have more people running Arcane, but I don't know. Chain and Blitz, especially, you get more value out of the Husk. Oh, he's just nasty. And you're not as worried about... Here's the thing. In Blitz, you have half as much life, but you have 2/3 of your deck size. Chain isn't getting fatigued in Blitz. It's way harder to. It's just harder to. Chain's dirty. Yeah. Sweden's Nationals is in 2 weeks. Okay, theirs is in 2 weeks too. Yeah, Blitz is good. I mean, I still like Blitz, and I do like teaching it to people. I mean, it's fun. I had fun during Blitz and stuff like that. We'll see. Bum, 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 bum. I love CC. It's the full game, but sometimes you don't want the full thing and just want to do some quick games. I just like mixing it up. I also like CC because of the more mid-rangey playstyle. Yeah, for sure. Anyone know how Briar does into Ira in Blitz? That's a good question. That's a good question. I mean, Ira is just a better... It's just a better controlled Katsu. And in my mind, you have the Flick Flax, which can go wide against Briar and just get your consistent damage off that they can't really block with their embodiments. We're definitely gonna need some testing to get into that. I'm not sure. We got the skirmishes playing up. I haven't decided what I'm gonna play. It would probably be between Ira, Briar, Chain. What else? What else would I play? What else would I play? I don't know. Those are the three off the top of my head. I feel like I would play Chain going into skirmish, honestly. But I want to know that question too about Ira. Who's been testing Blitz? Who out there's been testing Blitz? That's what I want to know. Oh man. Oh dude, you got your skirmish event this weekend. Cardboardcast has their skirmish event this weekend. Yeah, you gotta let us know how the Iras v Briars match up, and if they're are they the same Ira decks and are they the same Briar decks? Oh, Kano, duh. Forget about Kano, dude. How could I forget about Kano? Kano, dude. Yeah, Kano can take Briar and Blitz. Kano is great. Yeah, we talked about the Nationals deck list. We did that in the first bit, so you go back and look at that. We reviewed all of them. Had some people in chat commenting on different things. They were interesting to see. I know they were different. I think two of them were more similar to your list, and like the other 2-3 had more blues in there, so they could handle some of the ice stuff. But a lot of it would still be that red line list. And then the ice deck was cool to see. The ice deck we did talk about, the Ice Lexi, into the aggro matchups only ran 22 arrows, which gave it some really powerful options, but some less consistency going into 3-of-a-kind turns, which we had a heated debate about Command and Conquer in the deck. I'm not a fan, but you can do 9 damage Command and Conquers with your Icequake. If you want the Oldhim list, you have to accept the DM. I want to see the Oldhim list. I'm saving it for next time. Maybe tomorrow morning we'll do another one of these and look at those. Maybe we just do one of these every morning, man. At some point we have to work though. All right. Couple more comments. I said I was going to log off like 15 minutes ago. Let's see. Okay, I've been testing Blitz and no deck I like so far. Need to test Ira, Kano, and Bravo. The rest I tried. Bravo just gets... Oh, Bravo into Ira is just... It feels so bad. I hate it. I hate Bravo into Ira. I want to run Bravo. He might be different nowadays, though. Yeah, Josh is all about Kano. Maybe we're running Kanos. Okay, how do we feel about Lexi going into Blitz? I'm on the fence about trying it out. I don't know. I wish I could tell you. Death Dealer Lexi? We can see some Death Dealer Lexis. Let's see. In Blitz, you have the lower life total. You could possibly... What about in Blitz running both Shiver and Voltaire? And it's like, you kind of run a pump list. And if you go first, you try to dominate something huge. And if you go second, you play Voltaire. Maybe that could be a list. Feels like it'd be better going first. Yeah, and you're running Icequakes and Weaves, and you're running Seek and Destroy and just all that stuff with arrows, and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna do a 12 dominate arrow first turn. Maybe that's the way. All right. Just for all the viewers, real quick, I'm not going to discuss this today, but here you go. If you want to look at it, it is right here. You can pause this and you can check out the list. It is right here. Okay? So, wait. Yeah. So if you wanted to see it, it's right there. That's what's up. Yeah, I think Kano just can destroy Briar as she currently sits. The cool thing is, okay, I'm going to say this. So Jimmy Lee, Mr. Bolton Man, I was talking with him about Raiden Bolton into Kano last skirmish. And he was talking about how he was using Spell Void to get around that, even though he was playing a bunch of reds. So playing something like Shock Charmers for the Spell Void maybe could be enough to get you over the top. The die roll does seem kind of important. Okay. Dude, Cody is the man. He's just been on top of it, giving us deck lists today. I love it. Thank you. Okay, I opened the old him list. Yeah, Tariq's list, he does have a little more go again, and he's got the yellow rabble, dude. I like it. Alright, I've been running Lexi with Voltaire, pumping arrows, no elemental cards, all 1 and 0 cost cards, no losses yet. Interesting. So, that is interesting. Yeah, I have liked, if you can run Sleep Dart, and you can run, what's the one where the next one costs 1 more? I like that card because it's kind of like an ice effect on it, and you don't have to have ice cards to fuse. So that's a good one there. Obviously, your Remorseless Endless Arrow, I think, is the best arrow by far. So you got some really good ones. Searing Shot is a 0 cost. So you have some great options there. Even the... What's the one that puts 1 back into your arsenal? That's pretty cool. Yeah. Dude, yeah, next every other weekend we're streaming with Kitchen Table TCG doing some ultimate pit fight. They've been ganging up on us, dude. I don't like it. It's 5 people in there and it's 2 of us and they just gang up on us every time. Hamstring shot. Thank you, Zane. Yeah, dude, Jimmy's great. I got to meet him at the Calling Vegas, which was pretty sweet. We've talked about Bolton. I love Bolton. I kind of got off of Bolton, though. But I still love him. He can do some great things. It's just the Briar matchup feels rough. I played Briar v. Bolton on our last stream, and I thought I was going to pull it out. I was able to pull off a 29 damage via the Vanguard turn. And I thought I was going to freaking pull it off, and I missed a Tunic trigger. And I lost. Okay. Dude, yeah, we're going to see some crazy deck techs coming out. People are going to have awesome things. Yeah, dude, so Cody gained like all this life, and he was sitting at like 30 damage. Or 30 life, and we're like, no, I think you're at 29. we're like, what's going on? Clearly, we're gonna go against you. So actually, we did team up on you. Not on us, but gotta play the victim. You gotta play the victim in Ultimate Pit Fight for sure. If people see that you're at 10 life early, they're like, oh, I'll have pity on him. Unless you're Louis. Then Louis is just merciless and will take you out. Superworm's like, yeah, that's why I don't play decks with Tunics. So you can't miss the trigger. Yeah, that's why you just gotta play Chain and just play your Husk. You won't miss the trigger. Dennis was sent to kill me. Oh man. All right, guys. So this has been awesome. Thank you to everyone tuning in. If you want to see our look at the top 8 deck lists, you can review it earlier on in the stream. It was cool to see that, and just cool to see everyone's reactions to them. I am gonna tune out here. I gotta get to the gym real quick, and then I gotta do some real work. Oh, this is real work. I gotta do some fake work, and yeah, that's what's up. So until next time, my name is John. I hope you all have a great day. and I'll see you next time.